Cup of tea, anyone? I had intended on being outside working on my Christmas presents already this morning, or emptying the workshop actually. But my ankle saying, no, not right yet. So rather than do nothing, I decided to go into lesson 4 on the miter saw stand. And for some reason, Sketchup changed itself on me. So I'm going to go to screen share. And it's a mess. All of these icons are not where they're supposed to be. So I'll show you how to fix them. I'm just going to drag a bunch of them. Oops, wrong one. Here. It's easier to do this when they're all on your screen rather than down in the bar, because sometimes they don't want to go where they belong. Get that one out of there. Oops. There. One more. Two more. Okay, we have there. What I'm doing is I'm just grabbing the little double bar here and moving them where I want. So these are two this is one I use most in the class. It's the measurement, or it gives all sorts of different verbiage down there on what you're doing. The next one is principle. I would prefer to modify that, but I can't, so I'll just leave it alone. Now I'm going to go to drawing, which is kind of dumb, because drawing is what you get as a result of this, not and here where it's called construction, well, no, this is a tape measure tool. This is dimension. There's nothing to do with construction. This is a protractor. This is notes. This is axes, which I've got a modified one here. And here's 3D notes. So this is really nothing to do with construction, and this has nothing to do with drawing. I didn't program it. We'll take modification and bring it down here. Next, I'll bring my UCS bar there. Grab my views, bring them down here. And camera and plunk or sections, plug that in. Bring camera over here. And then I got to find out what these are. Projections. I don't use those a lot. In fact, I haven't used them on class at all. And what's this one? Extrusion tools. I haven't used that in class either. I'll dump them back over in the bar. It'd be nice if it would let me. Okay. Pull them back out. There. These two that I'm working with right now are actually Ruby plugins. And it did what I didn't want it to do. Come on, get smaller. There we go. Plugins are a great value on this. Now I'm going to save this just in case it crashes again. So here we have our model so far. I've got two large drawers that are open. I've got one small drawer that I can put over here. Trying to isolate my components here. Okay, those are legs. Let's start putting a cabinet under this area right here. So I think one thing I'd like to do for that cabinet is have a set of these legs under here, but they'll have to be shorter. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to select that one, mouse button 1, and I'm just going to copy them. Find out where my icons all are. I'm just going to move them down here somewhat, and I'm going to make these unique. That way I can shorten them up when I get them over where I want them. I'm also going to need, since I've done dovetails here, I'm going to need dovetails put in these, but I'll use my geometry here to do that. So I'll select this one again and this one again, and I will move them, not copy them, over to this corner, and then I'll move it from there to the midpoint of that, and from this point straight up. I want to get rid of my excess guidelines, so mouse button 1 on edit brings this open, deletes guides. Move my outliner over some. Mouse button 1 on the component that I want to hide. If this opens up, just hit hide. And we'll hide these drawers too. Oops. Hide. And now I'm going to hide all of these extra legs. I'm going to select this and this and that. I will go to my edit function and I will intersect faces with model. And now I'm going to hide these two because I got a lot of underlying work to do. And I want to make this unique, make that one unique, and I want to make actually, yeah, okay. I want to make this one unique also. There. Now, I have activated my rear 2x4, my call it longitudinal. I need to go in and create some geometry using my line function, which is my hotkey L. I'm going to zoom up. I'm going to go from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. And then I want to move that 1.5 inches. I want to push that inboard or away from me 1.5 inches. That will accommodate my 2x4 dovetail on that side. I'll make this one active. And I want to do the same thing here. You can see these, actually that's not going to work very well, but it's okay, I'll fix it later. You have to do a lot of retweaking when you're working with some of these programs. There. Using outliner, select, and hide can make your life a lot less complicated. Okay, I'm working on that. Good. Oh, cool. I can even move that right now because I already had the element in it. Let's go fit all because I just lost everything. Actually, what I want to do is I want to put in 8 and 9 again. I want to unhide them because I don't like the way this one just worked. It went up too far. And put in that one. That one is completely wrong, so I'm going to undo several things. Did I just lose my extrude over here? No. Okay, now, hopefully it's that one. And you can see I have a whole flock of lines here that I really don't want to deal with anymore. So I did a window box on them. I hid then I just got rid of them, but I hid all of my geometry first so I wouldn't delete any of that. Now let's unhide this one. Wrong one. Unhide this one. And I will bring this element from here to here. I'm getting rid of these lines because they were floating around from before and they're really bogus. There. And now I need to unhide this one. And for some reason, it's still not right. So I will try to move it again. Wrong one. There. Now I'm getting some extra highlights here that I really don't know what's going on. And that bothers me because that usually means something screwed up. I can't figure it out. There. Select this and this and do my edit intersect faces with model again. And make my lines L, and it didn't take it. Okay, that's 1.5 inches. Then I'll make this one active, and I'll put in my 2 other partial dovetails. Okay, so back to line function. Select this one to here, this one to here, this one to here, and this one to here. And we'll bring back in that. Now my legs are too long. That's okay. In fact, I'm going to unhide everything here. Get into the main model, unhide all. Get rid of that line, that line, that line. I hope I didn't just wipe out the back of my plate. Okay, good, I didn't. Because I still have one more line element in here I want to get rid of. There. And we will now go down to here. And I see that my legs are too long, so I'll make this one active. There. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm messing around making these things longer. For one thing, I'm not sure I like where they stop, but I'm going to show you a trick on how to get intersecting elements or elements that set at an angle the right dimension. So I'm going to select all of these legs. Well, not all of them. I want to select 4 of them because these 2 are going to change when I make everything else. Now I've got all that selected. Back to Edit, Intersect Faces with Models. Now I'm going to hide. Actually, I'm going to make that a component. That way it hides easier. I lost all my intersect lines. Okay, Control Z. Now I will do it again. Intersect faces with model. Hide that bottom one. Good. Now I can use these existing elements here to use the extrude to get them completely accurate on square ones, not on angled ones. And I'll show you why in a second. Okay, grab that one, bring it up to there. When you have an element that is trying to go from plane, from perpendicular to skewed, and you just want to pull it or extrude, when you grab it and start moving it up, it moves up perpendicular. So in this one, you have to actually go in and create some geometry. Line function from here to here, from here to here, and you got to go all the way around it. And I haven't yet figured out how to let it force it to make a chain, which would be a lot handier here. Just click, 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 click. There might be a way. I just haven't stumbled on it yet. Okay, now we have a stand with legs on it. I need to bring in this end because this is the side I'm working on. Let's unhide this one and unhide 20. That's our floor. So now we have some geometry that we can do some things with. Time for another slurp of tea. Now, I could go crazy and put more dovetails here. I'm not going to. I'm going to put some half laps in here. So I'm going to go ahead and create under draw. This is another plugin, create board. Things are falling down. Let's do it 25 by 3.5 by 1.5. And we'll do OK. And we'll put it here. Now, you can see that this is not really going the direction I want. So we take our rotate tool, bring it up to 90, and bring it to 90 again. Now, I want to get my space mouse reoriented here so that I can grab what I'm after. And I didn't finish that one. I thought I had. So I'll fix this one first. Nope. Actually, that does what I want it to do. I will take my new 2x4 and put it right there. And why I did that now rather than later is when I move it vertically, it's going to keep the offset. I'm going to move it up 15. So now I have some room to work with some things. Let's hide this and make this active. And when I say make active, I'm just double clicking on the double mouse button one, or I can do it over here in the outliner. Back to my line function. Now, what you just saw me delete was a line element that it created where I didn't want it. I'm going to Control Z and put it back in. What happened when I was making this line is it decided it wanted to lock onto the origin of the part rather than the intersection up here. You have to be careful with that. With any CAD program, you have to be careful. You've got to learn its priorities. Otherwise, you'll get things off just ever so slightly. And I'm doing a lower right hand, upper left hand window box so I can delete this stuff. Now, let's zippy out here and see what I've got. Okay. I actually think I probably want a 2x4 at the bottom of this thing. So I'll bring this one back down. I think I moved it. Well, I don't know how much I moved it. I'll just move it again. No. Move it down 12 inches because it's make that 11 inches. Oh, it's a weird dimension. Okay. When you do it twice and it still does look right, just go ahead and clip it like there and bring it back that 4.5. We still have our overhang here that we need. So now let's do this again. Only we're going to copy it. We're going to go up 15 and leave it there. But we're going to make this one unique. And we're going to need the same geometry type into our inner supports. And I said type because we're going to have to make those unique too. Now, we don't have to make them unique, but if we don't, our half laps are going to be opposite each other. And that might actually be more convenient. Or they're also called bridle joints. So I'm going to make these unique. Since I'm not exactly sure how I want to do this, I'd rather make them unique now than have to undo stuff later. So I want to select all of these and then go back into Edit, intersect faces with model. Now, I'm going to hide all of these crossbars first. And you can see I have geometry in here that is not relative to my it's relative to it, but it's not part of my component. So here we've got to kind of do some thinking on how we want to do this. Do we want to have the half laps on the outside? I think so. I think it would be prettier. So we go into our line function and we make a line from here to here. And let's go to the other end because it did just what I thought it was going to do. I have to make these unique. So I'm going to Control Z. I want to make these two unique. Okay, we'll come back to this one. And we will extrude that one half distance. And it doesn't want to find a grip, so I'll just type it in. I made the angular component active, created my line, and I'm going to push that one in also. Now, if I'd really been thinking, I would have only done this once, but I wasn't thinking, well, I'll have to do it like this. I wasn't in my part. I was getting ahead on what I was doing rather than paying attention to what I was doing. Okay. This is what happens. You end up with extra faces when you do not guarantee that you are in the part you want. Now, I will do these two, and I'll try to do them a little more intelligently. I'll put all my line work on one of them before I go to the next one. I want that line on the opposite side. So I'll hit Escape, turn around here. Now I can do all my work here. I can do my push-pulls or extrudes and get one part done rather than having to jump back and forth on them. And we'll do the same thing here. Line function here to here, here to here, and here to here. Now, do these need to be 2x4s? Probably not. It's going to be a pretty beefy base by the time I get everything else done. Okay, so now we have a twisted mouse again. Let's bring in our little cross pieces here. If we can get the right ones, unhide, wonderful. Now, we should be able to hide this, 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 and this, and have our geometry here. Now, I'm going to do something that most people would consider useless, but I get confused. I'm going to copy these two out so I can use those to refer to. I'll hide these. Now I can say, okay, I know which face that I have to extrude in. So I will go ahead and make this active. And this one's going to have to be a little more. Okay, what I'll do is I'll take this one and just push it into here first. Maybe it doesn't want to move. All right, let's try it again. Error, error. And I'll do that same thing here. And what I'm doing when I get that face highlighted, if you select a corner node, it should go to an intersection when it finds it. I said should, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, now since I'm in this part, I'll go ahead and create lines in here because I need that one. And I also need, this will be a little bit more difficult. In fact, I'm probably going to have to over-create stuff. Maybe not. Let's see if when I get rid of this. Ah, wonderful. Whoops. And there is my joint for the bottom. Except I forgot to do this one when I was doing it. There. Now you can see that when this part comes back, it will be trimmed to the right surface. So I got to go ahead and do that same thing to here. Go ahead and create my line elements here to get my new end face. And I'll create that one to there and go over here and create this one. So I can get rid of these two components because they were only for guides. Well, not yet, because I want to make sure I get these two done right also. Okay, so I need to make that one active, and I need to grab this one to push it in from that node to that one and do my line work here. Another way you can do it is do this here. And then push this one in. I forgot to create my other line over here, so it doesn't help me any. And that is not what I was after. It should have gone. It's forgetting what I'm doing. And we'll punch that one in. Three-quarters inch. Now I take this one and wipe it all completely. Two ways to get the same thing done. That's where I was getting my 3.5-inch move when I picked this surface and went to there. I was not paying attention to what I was doing. I was trying to draw and talk all at once. There. Now I can get rid of these 2 extra members that I put in for visual reference. Now let's unhide all again. And guess what? I did it backwards. Even though I was looking at it, I did it backwards. And you can't just take them and flop them over because the angles are different. So, when you thoroughly embarrass yourself, let's see if we can fix this thing by hiding this. And I want to bring this face back out here. Yep, I don't have a face there, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Sometimes with computer-aided drafting, you just have to laugh at yourself. Sometimes you get high score and go on to a second game. Sometimes you just sit there and feel really dumb. But at least this is easier to do than if you had done it on a piece of paper and had to erase it all. Erasing sucks. Okay, grab my line function, put it from here to here, and from here to here. See, sometimes I like making mistakes. I mean, it's good for a laugh, but it also gives me a chance to show you how to create unintentional mistakes. Or, yeah, that made sense. If they're mistakes, they are unintentional. Okay, mouse, keep up with my brain. How to fix mistakes. That's what I wanted to try to say. Let's hide this one because this is being ornery. Okay. 0.75. Unhide all. Now, I have some nice... I thought I did that one. This is upsetting me. Okay. ¿Qué pasa? Okay, let's put some lines in here because I'm not exactly sure why I lost that face. Now, first I'll show you what happens if you're working from an angled face and you want to extrude it out. You go into pull and it goes out at the angle it's on. It always goes perpendicular to the face. There are ways to work around it with these 2 icons, with the 4 icons down here. That's not part of this lesson, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now, let's show that part back in, and then I can use the geometry on that part to get the line that I need. So I'll make that active. Okay. line function from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Now we can move this 3/4 of an inch this way and get rid of that element. Now we have some nice saddle bridle joints, half laps, whatever. Let's hide all our components. And that was just a simple Windows function. Select the top one, hit your Shift key, go to the bottom one, and hide all. And now we can get rid of a whole bunch of these lines that are just taking up computer space and making things run slower. Back to Edit, Unhide All. So now we have the ability to make some drawers, make some doors and shelves. Got to figure out what you want to do. And right now for me, it's yawning because I've talked about enough. We will come back to this, and maybe when we get far before I come back to the next one, I'll put the rest of these drawers in and put all the rest of this stuff over on here. And then we'll, let me save this thing. Went a whole hour without saving it. And this is me back. When we come back, I'll try to have some of this other stuff done, but I still need your input, guys. I haven't had, yeah, motor saw bench. I'll have to fix that. Oh, wow. I never took typing in high school. I also never took drafting, so what else would I be? A computer-aided draftsman. I'll fix that title. I'll try to get this stuff done, but I really need your comments on what you'd like to see here. Yeah, I can keep winging this thing, but if I'm not addressing what you need to know or would like to know, I'm wasting my time and I'm wasting yours. I still haven't got a hold of the webmaster. He hasn't got a hold of me because I've already asked him once for woodworlds.com to find out what's happening there. But you can find these through Sketchup. You can too. That's the same title on all these. Either Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, or here. They're all the same IDs, so you can go anywhere and find them. Please give me some comments, even if it's a like or a dislike. But if you give me a comment, then that way I can help specifically tailor things to what you need to know rather than what I think you might need to know. Thank you. And with that, I'll stop the broadcast and try to get my clothes, wash my clothes on like my shoes over my broken or messed up ankle and go outside.